Years ago, one official of one of the Jewish organizations in New York asked me, what can Jews themselves do in order to minimize the hostility they face? I gave him a one-word answer: fail.
Have you ever wondered why there has been so much hatred towards Jews for so long? What causes so many people to hate such a small community? Let's hear what economist and author Thomas Sowell has to say on the subject.
It's a fascinating story because among the middleman minorities, of which the Jews are the most prominent, the hostility to these people in countries around the world is out of all proportion to any other kind of group I can think of. In terms of violence, the number of Chinese killed, let's say, in 1 year, and by mob action, exceeds all the blacks lynched in the entire history of the United States. And the number of Armenians killed in Turkey, during the First World War, is greater than that. And of course, the number of Jews slaughtered on a number of occasions in history, even before the Holocaust, is greater than that. So that the question is, why this particular kind of people are the targets of so much venomous hatred? And I think the answer is that they not only succeed, they succeed in a way which is a threat to the egos of other people. That is, you can envy a Rockefeller, but he's no threat to your ego, because you say, listen, anybody can be rich if he's born a Rockefeller. But the guy who comes here, let's say from Vietnam or Korea, and arrives here with little more than the clothes on his back and a few words of broken English, and a decade later he has his own little business, and you see his son a few years after that getting ready to go off to Harvard or MIT, you've got to ask yourself, you've either got to, you've got to hate yourself for saying, my God, I've been stagnating, this guy was nothing and now he's risen up, or you're going to have to hate him. And most people, when they have a choice between hating others and hating themselves, they hate others.
Where does the hatred for the Jews come from in history?
Number of places, but they are people who have succeeded an awful lot in the midst of other people who have not. Years ago, one official of one of the Jewish organizations in New York asked me, what can Jews themselves do in order to minimize the hostility they face? I gave him a one-word answer: fail. Because as long as you succeed, you're going to be hated.
So the source is success.
It's not only the success, it's the success starting in poverty, as the Jews did in the United States and in many other countries. And so you not only see them succeed, you see them rise up from the bottom, past other people. The people they've passed don't like it. But there's also the fact that the role they play economically has never been understood. They're middlemen or they're money lenders, and the argument is they really aren't producing anything. You can't see anything tangible that they don't stand at a production line turning out widgets. And so the argument is that they're not producing anything. They're simply gratuitously inserting themselves between the producer and the consumer, and they're parasites, essentially. And this argument has been made, again, not only about the Jews, but about similar groups around the world. And in a number of places, they have expelled those people or forced them out by mob actions, forced them to flee. And after they left, the economy has collapsed. But it never teaches the lesson to know they were doing something.
I want to add something to what has been said. It is wrongly assumed by many that all Jews are rich simply because of the notoriety of a few. What is usually forgotten are all the Jews who lived in conditions of extreme poverty throughout Europe, especially in Eastern Europe, which led many of them to do the same thing as other peoples, such as the Italians or the Irish, emigrate to the United States. No less important is the fact that Jews are a group that has always brought value to a community and knows how to prosper. It is not in the interest of parties or governments that believe in the supremacy of the state above all else, and that only with the help of the state can people escape poverty, to have a group that does not need any of that and knows how to create wealth and value on its own. It becomes quite difficult to convince the population of the need for the state to be everywhere when there is an example of such a community and its success, which makes other communities look bad. After all, if one group can succeed, why can't others? Finally, German historian Hannah Arendt also addressed the issue of anti-Semitism, rightly devoting an entire chapter to it in her book The Origins of Totalitarianism. That's all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. 2 clicks can make all the difference and help the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.